Media loves their lies, and this is part 2, digging deep on the clickbait nonsense that is MSN and this certainly real Zoey Morrone. Anyway, Zoe's thing. Zoe, if you're real, please come on the show. We'd love to have you actually tell us what is going on. Brian, welcome to Futuraza. And I am joined by my buddy Mark here. Let's get started with part 2.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Disposal costs, end of life, lie. The battery, even with absolutely no value as a battery, has value. It has mineral value. Recyclers will pay you for it. They want it.
Yeah. They're not going to turn around and say, well, you got an EV there. That's another $5,000 you're going to have to pay me to take your car in. That's just not happening.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. The battery itself is worth money. Well, how come? Then why aren't? First of all, let's assume this author did any research, which is a very generous assumption. Most modern batteries are not recycled. I would agree. You know why? They're still in use. If you total a Nissan Leaf, do you know what happens with the not damaged battery pack? It goes into a different car, or a stationary storage solution, or the modules are broken up and sold separately. You can go on eBay and find them. They have
a lot of them end up in project cars and conversions to EVs.
I have been to a number of shops that do this. There's one in Oregon. There's one in, I've been to one in London. I've been to one in Florida. Yeah, these shops exist. I haven't been to the one in California, but anyway, range anxiety. What are you doing? Didn't we already have this one?
This is another rework of the same thing.
Are you just trying to stretch it out to 19 or whatever the number was?
That's what they're looking to do.
You are. You are. Well, I'm sure we won't see any more repeats. Concerns for grid stability. Did you know that EVs can make the grid unstable?
Yeah, and as soon as you buy one, the grid will probably go down because it just can't take that one extra vehicle.
You know, just like how the entire grid crashes every Thanksgiving and Christmas when we all fire up our ovens at the same time. Clearly. And who among us doesn't remember all those times when we were told this Thanksgiving, please stagger your turkey cooking because it will cause chaos. It doesn't happen. In fact, the role of electric vehicles, EVs have a big role to play in balancing the power grid, whether it's through smart charging, vehicle-to-grid technology, or dynamic load management.
Yeah, here's a catch-22 for this article. We've got grid managers out there, utilities that have excess power at night. And what they do is they drop their rates so that more people use that electricity at night. They get a bargain, the grid gets more stable, the utility's happy, the customers are happy. That's what's happening today. It makes complete sense, and many people are happy because everyone gets a plus out of it.
Everyone gets a plus out of it. Okay, concerns for grid stability. We've got that. Let's go to the next one here. It is time for your fourth ad break. Man. Okay, changes in government incentives. While government incentives can reduce the cost of EVs, those incentives in turn can change with policy and funding. Consumers must be aware of how these fluctuations will affect their purchase decisions. Right, but I make my purchase once at a fixed period in time, don't I?
And you get to choose when you're pulling the trigger. So again, do a little homework, understand what incentives are available, what is coming, and then make your choice on timing based on that.
But I wish to make a commitment to purchase 10 cars over 10 months. How do I know?
Then this article is for you.
It's for me. It's for me. All right. We've got some more gems. Charging accessories and upgrades. I swear we've talked about this. This also covers investment in home charging equipment or upgrades that could have contributed to the total cost of EV ownership. They range from a few hundred to several thousand, depending on the type of charge.
Yeah, they're trying to get to 19 slides because you know what? They want another ad.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we're not going to see another ad. Let's see here. Chances of higher registration fees. Do you know about this?
Yes, indeed. Yes. Different states have different rules and regulations on EV registrations. So guess what? You
Boom.
live in a state, you understand what those are. That's part of the homework to understand what an EV is going to cost you.
Yes. Now, some states have EV credits, some have EV registration penalties, and some have both a credit and a penalty. My state is one of the ones that has both a credit and a penalty. I did not qualify for the credit, but I do qualify for the penalty. But I am out of the tri-county transportation upgrade tax situation. So my registration for my 1-year-old car that I just renewed was, I think, $360 for the year. So about $1 a day is what I pay to use the roads. Fine. Yeah, there are some higher fees in some places. Congratulations. You've got, I think, 2 correct so far. Pretty exciting. Let's get on to the next ad. Oh, Mark, you were right. And then now this one, because again, we're not stretching to get to 19. Upgrade home infrastructure cost. This is the 3rd time, Zoe. This is the 3rd time. This is lazy, terrible.
They're selling ads, Brian. They're selling ads.
Specialized repair costs in case of a breakdown. Wait a second. You already put this under maintenance. Come on. What are you? Mm-hmm. Impact on the used EV market. Isn't this already what they said with depreciation? You're repeating. There would be adverse effects brought about by technological progress to the used vehicle market, such as faster innovation that would force older models to be resold at lesser price compared to the new, more efficient. You already said this. Now, I don't know what the used market looks like in your neck of the woods, but I can share what it looks like. This is the guys down in Portland, Milwaukee, Oregon. If anyone's actually curious, not a sponsor. They've just let me review some cars. And by the way, if you guys ever see a car on this site that you'd like me to review, let me know if it's something interesting. Look at this, a Nissan Ariya Ventures Plus Sport utility vehicle. And I thought there was range anxiety. This is a 2023 and it's got 52,000 miles on it. This driver did not have range anxiety. This driver got out there. 52,000 miles. That's great. But the prices, a Bolt still going for 20. Ioniq 6, I think I actually drove this one, 29,000. I wouldn't pay that for it. Actually, you know what? If I wanted to drive myself around, maybe I would. It was a nice car. But yeah, there's, you can look up the prices and get an idea. The trick isn't that they're depreciating because they're going down in value. It's because the new ones are getting cheaper. And a lot of the new ones have an incentive where when these were purchased, there was no incentive. Or they didn't qualify. All of that. So let's make sure we haven't missed any here because surely
another ad.
One more ad. We're up to like 6, I think. And now we're on conclusion. Oh, but we can click on the next one. 18 reasons people are leaving Florida in masses.
Which is really probably only 5 reasons that make sense.
So I wanted to know who on earth this clown is, and it was remarkably difficult to find out because I do not believe it is a real person. All I could find, first of all, they're like, you spelled the name wrong. I'm like, nope, that's the name. And they're like, okay, well, here's a bunch of things that are disconnected. Okay, put it in quotes, add MSN. 20 surprising ways your career is being shaped by AI. 20 shocking signs the middle class is disappearing. 20 concerning reasons why people are leaving. 19 alarming trend. 17 shocking ways big tech. 18 surprise, shocking, hidden, shocking.
I see a pattern.
You, my friend, are a click. What's the pattern? It's clickbait.
Yes,
it's clickbait.
Indeed.
And if you worked for me, you'd be fired because I get it. You have to pander to the algorithm, but my goodness. And it was a slideshow, one article that had 6 interstitial ads. Terrible, you guys, terrible.
I would like to ask the people that are seeing this, have you seen another ad like this, which is just outrageous? Have you seen another article that makes these crazy assumptions Please put it in the comments. Let us know. We'd like to maybe review a few more of these and FUD bust some of this stuff.
I don't remember which magazine it was. There was one in the 90s where the morning shock jock I'd listen to on the way to work would, the co-host would say, "Oh, I found this article." And it was in some women's magazine. And I don't remember if it was like Glamour or Vogue or Cosmo. It wasn't one of those. It was one of the less reputable ones. And all of them read like they were written by someone who had never experienced the world. Like they grew up in a cage and one day got a writing assignment. 7 tricks that will drive your guy wild. And they were like, oh, they were just insane. They were like, and it was great fodder for the host, much as this is for us. So guys, Mark is about to find this out. This is the conclusion of part 2. You made it through this 2-part series because this got long. It got long and and we had to break it up. Break it up, you guys. Break it up. So thank you for sticking with us. Stay tuned and juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots. Perhaps next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific over on the Tesla Life Show, which is so wonderful. I'm often in the chat. No guarantees.